Good afternoon to everyone in the United States and North America. Good evening to everyone in Europe. I am James FNX, and today we are watching some Crossworld Key Sanity in Week 5 of the Leagues of the Past Randomizer League. And I am joined today by Bandman25. Bandman, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing all right. I'm excited to watch some of this cross keys racing. This is the big leagues. This is the sort of mode that separates the humans from the Goron.
Oh yeah, from several of the races that I've seen so far, these races can usually either go fairly quickly or they can drag out, and usually they're always hunting for those last few items, so it'll be interesting to watch.
Absolutely. And today we've got JJBlu from Feline Paralysis taking on ObscureLifeForm from the Noble Foxes in the Skull Woods division. Feline Paralysis is on 9 points and they're tied for 6th place in the division, and the Noble Foxes are on 3 points and 8th place in the division. We should be getting started here in just a minute or two.
Well, that's a very interesting title screen there. JJ gets lost. Wow, it sounds about normal for these type of seats.
Yeah, it's hard not to get lost in these cross keys seats. I've done a few of these on my own. It is a lot to take in, even when you're not on the clock and just doing it casually. When you're racing, there is so much information you have to keep track of in these cross keys seats. For an explanation, this is Cross World Entrance Shuffle, which means that any entrance can go anywhere, and connectors, the keys that take you from location to location, can take you from the light world to the dark world. And Key Sanity, all the keys are in the item pool, all the maps and the compasses are as well. So our runners aren't really going to know where to go until they find those maps to know which 7 crystals they need to beat Ganon. A little bit of divergence right here to start already is ObscureLifeForm is going to check another entrance here. Doesn't get paid off, while JJBlu is farming some bombs, these 50-50 spots down by the grove. Gets one. You're going to want to get to Kakariko pretty fast. There's so many entrances there. There's a lot for you to find. ObscureLifeForm finds a dark cave. You won't know where that goes just yet. JJBlu is still trying to grab more bombs so that whatever entrances he runs into in Kakariko, he'll be able to bomb through, blast through, and get what he needs out of them. Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm finds Spiral Cave over by Eastern Palace. This is going to be an item and a one-way connector. Figure out where it takes ObscureLifeForm after they get done traversing this cave. Unfortunately, ObscureLifeForm can't make it through Spiral Cave alive. We'll have to start over. Sanctuary this time. There's 20 rupees there. Sanctuary, the drop down right next to Sanctuary. The drop downs in Key Sanity or in Crossworld Randomizer are tied together. Now we're going to check out the actual Sanctuary entrance is just Lumberjack Cave with 10 arrows, nothing there.
Got a blue boomerang there on the race game.
Yeah, that's a location that thankfully is not a fairly relevant item, because that is a location that's very, very hard to get to in Entrance Randomizer. A couple more locations to check for Obscure Lifeform here. Obscure Lifeform is found in the Uncle dropdown. A couple items to get here. Meanwhile, JJBlu is going through all the entrances of Kakariko. Pretty slow opening so far. Obscure Lifeform does find Hookshot Cave. That's a connector. They're choosing to check that out later. JJBlu has found a place to farm a little bit of money. I'll make you getting that bottle vendor item possible. Meanwhile, Obscure Lifeform is going to check this drop down out.
That's
and it's
definitely the slow way of farming out some rubies here.
Yeah, and the Lost Woods drop down is Magic Bat. It's a slow way of farming rupees, but you don't know what these other entrances are. Maybe the only way to farm rupees in Kakariko.
Yeah, it's very true, especially the way Cross Keys works out. I mean, between going through a connector, you could be literally on one side of the building or one side of the world, and next thing you know, you're on the other. Just like that, how we were in Light World, the fortune teller all of a sudden puts us there in the back entrance of TR.
Yep. And Obscure Lifeform also finds the entrance to Aghanim's Tower in the right side of the Longhouse in Kakariko. There's the dam. The dam, pretty important location. Once you pop the dam open, you'll be able to keep it open forever. The swamp will stay drained for the rest of the game. Meanwhile, Obscure Lifeform finding a better farming spot in Kakariko, 50 rupees in this room. And there's Ganon. Ganon's a Kakariko well.
It was a very good early find. And there's a waterfall fairy on JJBlu's side, nothing of importance there. And the bottle vendor giving back $300 after that hard farming of 100 rupees. Nice little return on that.
Yeah, it's a hard way to keep a business going if you're just going to pay people 300 rupees when they give you 100. All in all, though, not a lot in Kakariko. No real items other than blue mail, and there's an entrance to Turtle Rock and an entrance to Aghanim's Tower. That's about it. And one drop down we haven't seen yet is Kakariko Well, which may be stuck in the pyramid.
A Mimic Cave there in Blind's house. There's Shaharlashla. His house has us into Aghanim.
So at this point, between our runners, they've covered just about everything in the western part of the Light World. They've covered all of Kakariko. Lost Woods have been taken care of. And Obscure Lifeform did touch a bit on the Eastern Palace area. There's still main entrance Hyrule Castle, main entrance Eastern Palace, and Saraslo's Hut. There's not a ton that's still left out there that we're going to have to find some way to get to another location soon. If we were asking about the area just to the left of Hyrule Castle, there is a house there in the Dark Worlds where in the vanilla game you could buy the fire shield if you wanted to, but in the Light World it's just trees.
It sounds like you're talking about the curiosity shop there in the Dark World.
Yep.
And we found our uncle here.
Obscure Lifeform is now going through Paradox Cave. 7 items in here.
That's always a good find, especially this early in the race.
Although that mini Moldarm room with just bombs is not trivial. Obscure Lifeform does have blue mail, so that'll make things a little bit easier. But they're going to want to try and get a bomb over and get this switch hit as quickly as they can. They get it done. Big key to misery, Meyer. The Moon Pearl. 100 rupees. And Obscure Lifeform does get the last Moldarm killed. That last bomb. Won't be able to bomb jump across this pit. It ends up in Death Mountain. So that connector paying off big time. A lot of entrances up here for Obscure Lifeform to get into.
With all of these caves up here, is definitely a great place to be after Kakariko Village.
Couple more caves to check. Get past this Tektite. Meanwhile, JJBlu finds the back of the escape. Obscure Lifeform chose not to do this after dying. Just some money. There's a cane of Samari for Obscure Lifeform.
Ooh, red cane.
GT small, some money, and the map to GT. That's not very useful. This King of Samari is going to be real nice for Obscure Lifeform right now. It's a more consistent weapon than those bombs. Meanwhile, JJBlu with a very nice Houlihan entrance. Gonna get a couple hundred rupees out of this room. Get all that Zora money. And whatever other money they're gonna need for the rest of this race. Got a heart container uncovered by the draining of the dam.
Definitely a good thing to find that this early in the game. Between finding your money, your heart containers, and your life, definitely what's getting there. I've seen way too many races that, unfortunately, runners, usually about an hour in, are usually only stuck at about 5, 6, 7 hearts. So definitely a good find this early.
There's our first sword in Agana's cave. Obscure Lifeform checking the one location they could on the way to Zora without those gloves and doesn't get anything for it. See how long it takes Obscure Lifeform to make it all over to the dam area to get that sword. Well, JJBlu is going to check out a couple locations on the way to the desert. There is that curiosity shop we were talking about earlier.
There are definitely better ways of spending 500 rupees other than that fire sword right there. So
for sure.
But I'm pretty sure that 500 rupees probably ranks up there with the 500 rupees we have to pay to that scam king Azora.
Yeah, at least you're getting a fire shield. Zora, you're probably just getting a piece of heart or a rupee. Small key on the desert ledge. Don't know if we're going to need that one yet or not. Another full heart container in Agana's cave. I'm not sure why Obscure Lifeform is retracing their steps here. So with all the drop downs we've seen, I think that leaves Kakarika Well being stuck at the pyramid. That'll be really annoying if one of our runners finds one of our items that we need is in that well. They're going to have to beat Ganon 2 at the top of... they have to beat Ganon 2 at the top of Ganon's tower to get that bomb shot found at the Hyrule Castle entrance.
He told us Eastern and Ice are 5, 6 crystals, so there's 2 crystals down, 5 to go. Hopefully they'll talk with Trehalose later and find out that green pin and make life a little bit easier on us.
Obscure Lifeform choosing not to get that information right now. Changes their minds. Figures it's probably a good idea. So now we kind of have to get back over to this Eastern Palace area for Obscure Lifeform. JJBlu's going over there right now too, and we'll discover that this is Spiral Cave coming up. Chat asking where the sword was. The sword was in the dam. JJBlu deciding to skip out on that Spiral Cave right now. It's a one-way connector. Once you drop down in there, you can't get back to wherever you're started from. So better to get these locations out of the way right now and find out what's over here before you head somewhere you can't get back. There's 20 rupees inside of Sarasala's hut, which actually has the Ice Rod Cave today. Looks like Obscure Lifeform's about to get their sword. And inside Eastern Palace, we have Kiki Skip. So there's another connector we'll check out in a bit. But right now there's one more cave over here down by the flute spot. That's Spike Cave.
Always an interesting find this early in the race.
So our runners know where a couple of these item-rich locations are that they can't get right now. They know where Hookshot Cave's at. Neither runner chose to take the connector.
Looks like JJBlu is going to go do that right now.
Yeah, JJBlu's going to do Spiral Cave right now. And inside of Spiral Cave, we have a big key for Tower of Hera. That one's an interesting one. It's logically, it's still pretty important, but with Hera pot skips, it can be much less important than it has been in the past.
Yeah, a lot of the races I've seen so far, it seems like that everybody is doing the Hera pot that knows how to do it, since it saves you some time from having to climb up a couple floors. Just do that easy skip in those little fairy rooms.
Absolutely. JJBlu's about to get his Moon Pearl here. Now JJBlu is finally up to Death Mountain. Not much else to do. Neither runner can do anything, or he can't do anything that ObscureLifeForm didn't do earlier, so won't learn any more information up here. And ObscureLifeForm is back in Spiral Cave to loot their corpse. So at this point, we're looking at that Hookshot Cave connector has got to be where ObscureLifeForm is going next. Can't think of much else that's out there.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of the light world so far. We haven't made our way to the dark world yet. Don't really have many checks left at this point that we've been to, except for here on the South Shore.
Yeah, there's a couple of checks they can do here. One at what is normally Mini Moldarm Cave, one at Ice Rod Cave, and one at the Open Cave in that area. There is our Smiths today at Mini Moldarm Cave. No gloves yet means that neither of these runners will be able to get the third entrance over here by Ice Rock Cave. This first entrance is just the schoolyard, the dark cathedral, and the second entrance is Desert Palace. The front of Desert Palace, a couple chests here, a couple locations to check here. I don't think either runner has a Desert Palace small yet, so it's gonna be a very short trip in this area. But it does give you a couple other exits. There's a connector.
Yeah, this definitely can give us a lot of information, especially since we got two more exits here.
Pod small. It's
Pod small.
Bottle on the torch. And our two exits out of Desert are back of Skull Woods and Dark Link's house.
It's definitely a lot of information for us compared to these two guys that they just gave us.
ObscureLifeForm saving and quitting because they can't get back in from that Skullwoods entrance. Meanwhile, JJBlu's going to check out Swamp Palace entrance and find an Eastern. It's a really good find. There's going to be 4 chests they can get here.
Actually, it's just going to be just the 3. Can't get the big key yet.
There's a Master Sword.
Good find.
And there's 3 chests in Logic, but there's also the big key chest that's dark room map blocked. That JJBlu got.
That's right. I keep forgetting that there's 6 chests in here, not 5.
Yeah, ObscureLifeForm finds one of the gambling games at Waterfall Cave and is going to head over to Zora.
Which right now is probably a really good play. They have plenty of rupees. You're going to find out if you got something that you possibly need there on the ledge, which unfortunately it's not with the bombs.
And this is out of Logic, so if it's something critical, this is going to give ObscureLifeForm a bit of an advantage, both in loadout and knowledge. It's just a small key for pod, so that may not even be necessary. Just a compass for Swamp Palace and compass chest in Eastern. So one more location for JJBlu to check here. ObscureLifeForm takes some damage in that fake flipper state and ends up dying.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual when you see somebody actually swimming out of the Zora area. You're so used to seeing a lot of save and quits or walking out, but the fact that he's swimming out is kind of a little odd.
I think he wanted to head to Hobo after that. And, didn't get the opportunity to. Ice Palace Big Key is locked behind the lamp here in Eastern Palace. That'll unlock one item in Ice Palace once they find it. And JJBlu taking a Death Warp to stay in the Dark World. You know, Obscure Lifeform is going to take out this this connector here for Hookshot Cave. We'll see where the other entrance leads. Another one way for the time being for Obscure Lifeform. That one leads to Bonk Rocks. So I think at this point for Obscure Lifeform, they're going to need to head back to Desert and try that other entrance. While JJBlu is on her way to check some of the overworld checks in Dark World of Stumpy to start out with. Obscure Lifeform has a connector that takes him right to the dating game.
Yeah, that was the top exit to Paradox Cave.
That's a very convenient connector. And in the Animal Crossing simulator, we have some gloves. Gloves to be dug up here. JJBlu's going to get them as well. So at this point, both our rudders are about the same place. JJBlu is up a sword from the Zip in Eastern Palace. Obscure Lifeform is about to find that this is the other entrance to Desert Palace. Bad news for Obscure Lifeform. They just ran out of bombs. So they're going to be a little limited in what entrances they can check. They're going to find Eastern here in a second. Still get their Master Sword. Meanwhile, JJBlu has found Super Bunny Cave. We got a couple items out of here. This is another one of those. And they found the top entrance, it looks like, so. Nothing in Super Bunny Cave, unfortunately.
There's Obscure Lifeform's Master Sword.
And the one-way exit to Super Bunny Cave is the Death Mountain entrance, so not a particularly useful exit place for him. Now with this Cane of Samaria, JJBlu is going to head to Turtle Rock and check a couple locations in here.
This is definitely an interesting move for him, being that he only has a few checks here.
I'm not sure what else there is though right now. We can't get over, as far as I can tell, we can't get over to Village of Outcasts. That is a fantastic bunny spray.
What on earth is that? Is that a coin? Couldn't tell what that was. Definitely very interesting bunny sprite. I'll go give you that one.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is either. I'm sure if we hey listen enough, we'll figure it out. But
Chat's saying it's a C up button on the N64 controller.
oh, so you can call Navi. Perfect.
There's our bottle. Another bottle.
It's our second bottle we found, first in inventory. Once we find Sick Kid, that'll give us another item. ObscureLifeForm taking the death warp here to get out of Eastern. Unfortunate death for JJBlu. There's one more chest they can get out of here if they decide to go re-enter. They're not going to do that though.
Yeah, probably a smart thing to do. I mean, yeah, he does have blue mail, but just trying to fight up those chain chomps, especially on blue mail, take 3 hearts away, and that's still a lot of damage on 6 hearts.
Yeah.
And it looks like JJBlu's hitting up Agana.
Yeah, there's one item in logic here. I don't know if JJBlu is going to want to risk doing the rest of it in the dark. But that one item is really, really good. It's the magic mirror. It's one of the most important items in this mode.
Oh, most definitely.
Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm has found Laser Bridge. And finds Tempered Sword.
Tempered Sword definitely sets him up for the rest of the race to make everything just a tad bit easier.
Let's see if he can pull off the rest of these laser skips without boots. This is not easy.
I've yet to been able to figure this out. I know the only place on each of those lasers that can hit you is the front of it, but I can never get past that front one. Always get hit in the face.
JJBlu's going to check out this entrance. Might pick up the boomerang. Don't know what the stun prize is yet, so that might actually be worth the time to pick up.
King's Tomb here at the race game.
And boots on the back of Laser Bridge.
Ooh, that's a big one. That is a big one.
JJBlu is going to choose to pick up that boomerang. ObscureLifeForm makes it through the dark room. We'll get the crystal roller chest here. Finds a small key to Turtle Rock and chooses to take the death warp. You have to wonder, when is JJBlu gonna head back to the Ice Rod Cave area, because that's really far out of the way for him right now.
Yeah, it most definitely is. I mean, especially with the Tempered Sword and the boots back here. It's definitely going to be really hard to pass up.
Does find an entrance here, another connector. The first one, that connector between levels on Death Mountain, and this one, the Longhouse, does take a little bit of angry waggling there, as this connector does not take JJBlu very far.
Yeah, it looked like, yeah, that you just went up the mountain just a little bit on that connector.
JJBlu picking up a red potion here. I like the idea. It's definitely better than having a gold bee in your inventory.
Yeah, especially with the fact that he's at 6 hearts now. I mean, granted, he is at blue mail, but having that extra safety is always a good thing.
Obscure Life Form, I'm going to get this one chest that's in logic, just 20 rupees. Oh, we're going to see a hover. We're going to see a hover attempt at least.
Yeah, this is definitely a very impressive technique if you're able to do it.
One hover down, just a heart container in that first chest.
Nice bonk over on that.
The bow is locked in behind the hook shot.
Ooh.
The second hover. Gets it done. Gets key to Thieves Town. That's somewhat important. Does lock one item, but that item is also locked behind the big key in the hammer. So it'll be a while before that key pays off. But getting a bow this early, real nice.
Oh, most definitely. That gets you, at least right now, that you cannot finish off Eastern Palace, since we did find that a little bit earlier. Also gets us farther into Pod if we ever get that, if we ever find it. And it looks like Obscure Life is going to actually take the path that JJBlu took a little bit earlier and see what's over here.
Oh. Meanwhile, JJBlu fake flipping to Hobo and gets half magic for his troubles.
That's definitely a good find, especially early in the game. Makes life a little bit easier when you're trying to kill Mothula when he's not being nice.
Absolutely. No real great items to make use of it yet, just that Cane of Samaria. But once we find a Fire Rod or even one of the safety items, Cane of Burna or Magic Cave, having that half magic is going to pay off tremendously.
Oh yeah, especially since we've already found Spike Cave.
Yep, absolutely.
Obscure Life just found his first bottle.
See if Obscure Life Form can make it to that front chest that JJBlu died before getting to. Start off with this tricky chain chomp room. Does make it through.
It's kind of nice when you see where those Pokies go down in one swing.
And in this front chest, the mitts. Whoa! That is a huge find for Obscure Life Form.
That is most definitely huge.
Also get to see where the front of Shore Rock leads out to. Into the desert area, the one of the locations, it's glove locked, so JJBlu will eventually get over there and see the front. Hopefully he gets there soon, sees the front, and goes and gets that first chest and gets those mids. Obscure Life Form finding a dark room in the Light World Link's House Bog Rocks.
And with no audio, it's kind of hard to tell which dark room he found there.
And with boots and mitts, we get King's Tomb area, and unfortunately, it's just the stash hut in Kakariko Village.
Yeah, definitely a great place to find some cheap bombs, especially when you're running short like he was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chat's asking where the mirror was. That was the first chest in Castle Tower. JJBlu is now finding the entrance into Turtle Rock.
So JJBlu get their mitts here very shortly. I'm not sure why Obscure Lifeform is heading back to the front. Oh, they're gonna they're gonna go to the left entrance of Mimic Cave Bridge. Let's see where that goes.
Yeah, and that'd be our last information for Turtle Rock that we have.
And it's the Pyramid Fairy. This is actually really good. This is, well, it would be good if Obscure Lifeform had the mirror. This is a place where you can mirror over and check out the other Hyrule Castle entrances. So when JJBlu finds that, it's going to be a nice benefit for him. But unfortunately for Obscure Lifeform, that entrance doesn't do a lot. You get one location here, plus you get whatever the catfish has.
Yeah, and with that location too, that kind of ends our need for the big bomb there after the 5-6 crystal.
JJBlu does make it back down to the Ice Rod Cave location. It's going to get a lot of goodies here. Getting that Tempered Sword first off.
Catfish just giving us 10 arrows on that. Kind of a disappointing factor that the catfish usually gives us.
Oh no, JJBlu dying just before those boots.
Oof.
Definitely going to come around and try again on that one.
I would think he would, because being one chest, and he doesn't know what it is yet, but it'd still be kind of hard to leave one chest hanging on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. There are those boots. It's just going to take the Death Warp. Meanwhile, Obscure Lifeform in the Palace of Darkness area finds Ice Palace at Dark Sarasala. JJBlu is not going to continue on. And at Dark 5, we find the back of Desert.
Oh, that's definitely a good find right now, because that now gives us, basically tells us where all of our desert information's at. Oh, and bottle there on the torch.
Yeah. And Obscure Lifeform is going to head over to get extorted.
One of these days, that monkey's going to get his comeuppance, the way he extorts everybody. At 110 rupees every single time.
Every time. The monkey is rich.
I'd like to see his bank account after all these tournaments.
JJBlu gonna mess around in Skull Woods while Obscure Lifeform only finds a fairy fountain behind Kiki's door.
I'm kind of surprised JJBlu kind of noped out of there of Skull Woods. He only checked really the two chests there.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have a key. He can't get anywhere else in there. Both those entrances go to the same first section of Skull Woods, and if you don't have a key, there's just nowhere else to go. Obscure Lifeform finds a sick kid, and with a bottle is going to get rewarded with 10 lonely bombs. But we do have access to Village Outcasts. There are a few more entrances in here. JJBlu is not going to attempt to hover. And inside inside Thieves Town, we have a dark room. And the C-shaped hut just has a fairy fountain, which leaves one entrance that can't be gotten right now, the one in behind the hammer pegs. So, Village Outcast is pretty disappointing today. Once again, our runners are both just about in sync. The only big difference at this point, ObscureLifeForm did get that bow from hovering Hookshot Cave, and JJBlu got the mirror from the first chest in Aghanim's Tower. Curiosity Shop just has a fairy fountain for us as well.
That was the front of Bumper Cave there at the brewery.
And a hint tile for ObscureLifeForm at Dark Sanctuary. Piece of heart in on Bumper Ledge, so nothing being missed out there. This is a nice location. This is 2 items, Meyer Shed. One of those items is the flippers.
Definitely puts our hobo check and all of our other checks back into logic, even though we already had the mid, so...
Yeah, the only, the Hobo Check and Waterfall Cave, which didn't end up having anything. We got a big key up here on Dark Lumberjack Ledge, and that's a big key for Desert Palace. So that'll be a dungeon that both the runners can complete here fairly shortly. As soon as they find a fire source. Surprised ObscureLifeForm isn't picking up the frog here just for value.
Yeah, that is kind of strange, especially since we've already found out where the smiths are located at.
There's Tower Hera at the Bonk Rocks and by the Link's house in the Dark World. Heart container that ObscureLifeForm is just going to pass up on. I'm surprised about that.
Other than so far, but unfortunately that's about as far... Or no, he does have the big key, so he can go up farther.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get everything other than the fire log chest, which with no fire source doesn't really matter anyways. Meanwhile, JJBlu finding Misery Meyer. We have the big key, and we have the boots. So if JJBlu feels confident in doing the dark rooms downstairs, he can full clear this dungeon. So we also have the Cane of Samaria. Another heart container in the Big key chest and Tower Hera for Obscure Life. Yes, there are a couple Firelock chests in here that JJBlu can't get out of. Thank you, everyone in chat, for pointing that out. Well, Obscure Life, I'm going to head up to take on Moldorm. One spin
And with
one
Tempered
slash
Sword
is good enough.
Yep.
Yeah, Tempered Sword makes that fight a breeze.
There goes Moldorm.
With the Pod Big Key, that's a good find. But only a pendant for the troubles.
Ooh, we got the hammer. We got the hammer.
JJBlu finding the hammer in the spike chest in Misery Meijer. That is a very important find. Another pod small for JJ. With these boots, Obscure Life Form is going to get a second bottle. I don't know about the time it's going to take to get this. It does have the Desert Big, so be able to get the big chest as well. There's the Desert Palace Small in Misery Meijer. I missed where that small key that Obscure Life Form just found.
Misery Meijer.
Misery Meijer? Not a useful one. JJBlu choosing not to deal with the dark rooms, takes the Death Warp. Obscure Life Form ended up trapped in Schoolwood's going to have to save and quit out. Meanwhile, JJBlu is going to head over to Catfish and find nothing of value.
Just a big 20 there on the on Lake Holly Island.
Yep, and Obscure Life Form is heading over to Hobo. He'll get half magic out of the deal. And the Fairy Cave in Lake Hylia is one of our 3 entrances into Hyrule Castle. JJ immediately making a beeline to the back to get this dark cross chest. Meanwhile, Obscure Life Form is going to choose instead to go downstairs. As JJBlu gets the dark cross chest, it only gets 3 bombs. Turtle Rock small in the map chest as JJBlu gets some of that NMG Instinct in to do a spin slash on Blue Guard when the Tempered Sword would just kill it in one shot. Just some small keys downstairs so far. ObscureLifeForm sent up the Death Warp to get to Dark Cross after this. Just a piece of heart in the basement in Zelda's cell. It's JJ choosing not to choose one of the other entrances to Hyrule Castle, instead heading over to the Ice Palace entrance.
Yeah, the only thing of Hyrule Castle we have not seen is what's upstairs. But then again, we would need a mirror. Well, we got a mirror on JJBlu's side.
Yeah, JJBlu can freely do this and come back and check where those other two entrances go.
Looks like he read your mind and he's going back.
Yeah, meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm finds a way to Dark Death Mountain. I did not catch what Medallion Charter Rock was.
It is Quake.
Quake, alright. And JJBlu finds the Witch Hut at Hookshot Cave entrance. Gets rid of another bee and collects a blue potion. ObscureLifeForm head over to the Spike Cave entrance. Just a shop there. Very interesting for ObscureLifeForm to choose to prioritize Spike Cave over, or the west side of Dark Death Mountain over the east. Does get paid off a bit here with Blind's Hut, 5 items. One of those being Swamp's big key. There's another item location there. The flute is a pretty nice find. We haven't been able to touch the Meyer area yet. That'll get ObscureLifeForm in there. That's going to be another thing that pulls him away from Aghanim's Tower and getting that mirror, though.
Oh, if he does do the flute here, if he activates it, then I mean he just needs to go up there to Schlosser's house there to get into Castle Tower. So at least make his way toward that mirror.
Yeah, we'll see if he makes that call. Meanwhile, JJBlu is not sure what JJBlu is doing right now. I thought he had checked all 3 of these locations. Oh, heading back into desert. Now that he's got the desert small. Yeah, Aghanim's Tower is in one of the 2 entrances of Sarashlo's house in Kakariko. ObscureLifeForm instead, though, chooses to head up Death Mountain. A lot of entrances up here.
There's Swamp.
There is Swamp Palace. No hookshot as of yet. So we won't be able to get everything in here. I also don't have the Swamp Swallow yet, so just the one item to check at this point. Nothing in the right-hand side of the desert behind that small key. It's just a heart container.
It looks like ObscureLifeForm has found the old man in the cave there. Yep.
Escort mission has been obtained. Meanwhile, JJBlu is going to head back to Hyrule Castle, looks like, to check either the left-hand side of Dark Death Mountain or the other entrance. It looks like they're heading back up to Death Mountain, so they will go over and get that flute here momentarily. Oh, interesting. Choosing a mirror instead.
Old man just giving us $5 there. Ooh, we found Pod.
Yeah, JJBlu finding Pod up on the right side of Light World Death Mountain. And at this point, with the location of the hammer, all of this is locked in behind that mirror that Obscure Lifeform still doesn't have. Obscure Lifeform does find the back of Skull Woods. That's another very good bunny sprite as well. Meanwhile, JJBlu does get over here to get his flute.
Very worthless map there on Obscure Lifeform House.
We have Skull Woods is regular crystal. Meanwhile, Obscure Lifeform is going to check this right-hand entrance. Hyrule Castle. Which takes him to Misery Meyer, which is locked behind Bombos. So he won't be able to get back into that entrance anytime soon, but doesn't really need to. Meyer Shed just has a bunch of fairies. Obscure Lifeform will not be able to check Checkerboard Cave without that mirror. Just has a couple of locations here, the right side of Meyer, and the other cave location here to the far right of Misery Meyer. Just a piece of heart in Cave 45.
Looks like JJBlu is finding the uncle now.
Just some arrows in the last cave in the Meyer area. So the Meyer section of the world is, unless Checkerboard Cave has something for JJBlu, that area is a big old bust. It will let us get access to the key that's on Desert Ledge and the two entrances, the Desert Left and Desert Back, that we don't know. But Obscure Lifeform can't get there yet. JJBlu can. Obscure Lifeform going to try and get the Dark Cross item now. We know it's 3 bombs. Not going to be a great use of their time, but without knowing what's there. You can't just leave it.
And JJBlu is going to find his Hyrule Castle map here.
So a little more than an hour in, let's reset both of our runners. Well, one of our runners, ObscureLifeForm, has found a pendant. Neither of our runners have found a crystal yet. JJBlu has a bit of an item advantage at this point with that mirror. It's given him access to the hammer as well. Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm does have the bow that JJBlu may not have the skill to get. It's a Hookshot Cave, and ObscureLifeForm did hover to get that. But at this point, both the runners are about the same area, and the only big difference is the mirror and what is locked behind it. I'm guessing at this point that the entrance to desert, the back of desert, is where JJBlu is going to want to find next. I'm pretty sure that that's where our next pit of progression is going to be.
Yeah, I don't think he has found that yet. He's been in that part of the world for where the back of desert is located at, but I don't think he's actually gone to it yet.
Yeah, I didn't see him head over. I don't think he's checked out much of the Palace of Darkness area yet at all. And they did catfish, but he chose to warp back to the light world after that trip. ObscureLifeForm is going to be able to check out the one chest in this area of... I guess there's a possibility for a second chest. If he finds the bumper bouncy castle drop down, but there'll be the chest here. And more importantly, is a key. Now they get access to the rest of the items in the first section of Skullwood. Just 10 arrows here for ObscureLifeForm. JJBlu, going to Mimic Cave, has the hammer. We'll be able to collect whatever is in here. Just the red boomerang. And meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm does find a way back to the back chests of the first section of Skullwood, so 3 chests here to check. The GT small. A big 20.
Should be a vanilla key.
And yep. Vanilla the key to keep you from walking yourself out. And that's all that ObscureLifeForm can do in this area.
So JJBlu didn't really miss out there on too much. Just that third Gannis Tower small key that we found between the runners.
Yeah, and really not necessary. So, so far so good for JJBlu in the routing. We're going to see some of the things that ObscureLifeForm missed out on up here, as JJBlu has a mirror and can check Checkerboard Cave, a couple entrances around Desert, and get that key off the ledge, whatever it is.
Obscure Life doing the Smith chain here.
And ObscureLifeForm has found the Smith, so this should be a pretty quick delivery. Let's see what we're making today in the workshop. Just a piece of art.
Found one of the brothers here at the race game. Oh, that's an interesting portal.
Yeah, I don't remember there being anything of value up on the island up there.
No, I think it was just some bombs, I believe.
And these runners already had a quick way to get up to East Death Mountain, so not the most useful connector in the world.
Obscure Life is now making his way into Castle Tower so that he can pick up his mirror.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming, as the back of Desert just has a shop. And the key on the ledge is just a Meyer key, not very important.
That's all 3 of our Misery Meyer keys that we found so far. So once they find that fire source, I'm almost kind of thinking that something important is going to be there. Yeah. Meyer's a crystal, and Swamp was green. Look like green pendant is Swamp.
Yep, Swamp's a green pendant. Pod is our last pendant. So that's all 3 pendants are Pod, Swamp, and Tarahera. And we already know what our 5-6 crystals are, so that is all of our dungeon information. JJBlu also gets to check the front of Desert. And it's the chicken hut. That bomb's not gonna, just going to make some chickens angry. Just
say,
5 rupees.
I'm going to say, good thing it's not a crowd control event. That's about the only time I've ever seen when the chickens get angry, so.
Yeah. So the mirror doesn't pay off for very much in Meyer area. But ObscureLifeForm does quickly find the Misery Meyer entrance. We'll get that hammer shortly.
JJBlu's not going to make his Skullwoods checks that he missed out on a little bit earlier.
Yeah, unfortunately for JJ, there's not going to be much to be found here. And once ObscureLifeForm gets everything together, he'll have equal footing with JJBlu, with just with knowledge of where the back of Desert is, which is something that once he finds a fire source, he can complete that. He can come back here, Get the temple chests here. Everything is now seems to be locked behind a fire source.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering here if Obscure is going to finish up Meyer. I mean, I'm pretty sure both of these guys are well vast in these dark rooms of Meyer. Well, it looks like he's going to hover across, so.
Almost makes it, just misses in that first attempt, and it's just going to go around at this point. ObscureLifeForm also has the bow advantage. We haven't really... We know where Pod's at. Well, JJBlu knows where Pod's at. ObscureLifeForm doesn't. So that is about the only place where having a bow at this point is a huge advantage. Once we find that hook shot, I'm sure JJBlu is going to rush back to go get it. It's hard to leave 3 items on the table like that.
Oh yeah, especially those three big items.
ObscureLifeForm trying to get this dark room done. This is maybe the second or third hardest dark room set of the game. You got Aghanim's Tower, this, and Eastern Boss area are probably the 3 hardest.
Yeah, I haven't been courageous enough to try doing Meyer dark rooms on my own. Kind of would like to have that lantern make life a little bit easier. Looks like right now he's in the second room right now, getting ready to go to.
Yeah, he's through the hard parts at this point. Everything else here is pretty simple. The first room is the hardest.
Yeah, just trying to find that location of that switch, yeah. And he made it through.
Yep, nicely done. And ObscureLifeForm does have this bow, so this fight against Ventrius is going to be a little bit simpler. Can't be thrilled to have taken that hit, though.
I mean, even with Blue Mail, he does need to be careful, though, with those 4 hearts. Hopefully he'll have enough arrows left over to take Ventrius out, but he's running pretty low.
Yeah, this is a dangerous game to be playing. He will die in 2 hits.
Whew. That was a close shot there of the lightning.
Yeah, does take out the small eyeballs. Only has a couple arrows for this phase, but Tempered Sword, this isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, just playing a little bit of one-player ping-pong right now.
Meanwhile, on JJBlu's side, we get a brief moment of my favorite music in the game.
And down goes Ventrius with a small key to Skull Woods.
Not a useful find. It is a crystal, though, and that puts ObscureLifeForm on the board. 1 crystal to none. 1 hour and 21 minutes into this seed. Just an item shop at Hammer Pegs as JJBlu's going to continue this escort mission in the purple chest. So JJBlu's gonna do a neat little trick that was found recently. You'll notice he doesn't have the chest with him, but since he has a mirror, and some things in this game are coded a little strangely, if you mirror close enough to our thief friend, you can just get the contents of the chest without bringing it along with you. And in this case, it's the big key of Thieves Town. Meanwhile, Obscure Lifeform is going to do it the old-fashioned way and walk the chest over.
Yeah, they both seem about the same. I don't know which one's faster, but they both kind of seem about the same, so. At least now we can completely clear Thieves Town once we find it. Because that's one of 2 places we have not found yet. Between that and Ganon's Tower, those are the only 2 places we have not seen yet.
Yeah, we're running out of caves. There's the one cave that's locked sort of on Death Mountain. There's Ganon's Tower itself.
That would be kind of interesting if Ganon's Tower was actually at Ganon's Tower. I've yet to see that one.
JJBlu is here in Tower Hera. So let's look at what our runners are looking for at this point. We still need an Eastern Palace big key. We still need a fire source, preferably the fire rod. We still need Ganon's Tower big. Still need Turtle Rock big. And I think that is about it. We need Hookshot. So
Ganon's Tower big key may not be 100% required.
That is true.
Looks like JJBlu is going to finish up Hera to give him his first pennant of the game, first dungeon clear.
It's very interesting that we haven't found Ganon's Tower yet. That's usually a big find and a large conglomeration of items for these cross key seeds. And to have not seen it at all yet is pretty interesting.
Yeah, right about now, I would think. I would almost think it's over at either over here where JJBlu is making his way, or somewhere up on Death Mountain we have yet to make our way to.
Yeah, there's 3 locations over here in this area, lovingly called the shopping mall.
Oh, there's Waterfall Ferry. Tower Hera Key.
Tower Hera Key locks an item once these runners find a fire source. Meanwhile, Obscure Lifeform is into pod finally.
Oh, we found Tower Hera.
There's a hookshot in Thieves Town, which is also in the shopping mall area. So that will lead JJBlu to the bow eventually. Meanwhile, with the bow, Obscure Lifeform can make a bit more progress in pod than JJBlu did earlier.
He can actually, he can complete it because he does have the big key.
Yeah, with only 3 small keys, that means he's gonna leave some locations out, though. So it'll be a choice whether he wants the crystal or well, does he even know that this is a pendant?
There's our Eastern Palace big key there in Thieves Town. Ooh, and a lantern.
There's a lamp and pod. So if you're through life form, if you know that this is a pendant, you probably give up the boss and either the big key chest or harmless hellway. If you don't know that this is a pendant, then you probably go and kill the boss and leave those 2 single locations locked. Big news about that lamp, though, is that means ObscureLifeForm can get those last 2 chests out of Meyer, can beat Desert, and can get that last location out of Terra once he finds that small key. Meanwhile, Thieves Town having the GT big as well. So 2 big keys, and the Tower Hera small, and the hook shot. JJBlu is finding a lot in this area. ObscureLifeForm thinking about doing a hammer jump here, attempting it. We'll see how that goes for him. Meanwhile, JJBlu taking on Blind. Gets the shovel with a very nice hammer jump. JJBlu finishes off Blind, gets a shield for their reward, and picks up crystal number 1 on that side. They're now at 1 crystal apiece.
There's our second shield.
ObscureLifeForm finds a shield of his own in...
Let's say, yeah, don't go through that. Yeah, there we go. Now you can finish King Helmo.
So ObscureLifeForm is going to choose to kill Helmosaur instead of checking the 2 single item lock locations. JJBlu finds Hype Cave is the last location in this shopping mall area. What a loaded area. 3 locations, and it's just been tons of stuff. There's Ice Palace Small, which is pretty important. It's not necessary, but it's important. Finds a blue potion. If we're still looking at items, if we're still looking for items by the time we get to Ice Palace, that small key will speed things up tremendously. JJBlu finds the back of Desert. No fire source means no completion there. Same story for Ice Palace. And a pretty clean fight from ObscureLifeForm taking out Helmsworth King.
Yeah, very clean fight. An ether.
Ether, which doesn't open up any locations, which is unfortunate.
That's now 2 pendants now for Obscure Life. The only bad thing is where the location of Pod being at. Who knows if he was going to go back and try to get those 2 chests that he's leaving behind once he finds a key.
Yeah, it's going to be a big ask.
And he can do a save scum for 1, but both of them are just really long walks to get there.
Meanwhile, JJBlu making his first trip to the pyramid, and having this mirror means he gets access to some entrances that ObscureLifeForm missed out on. Chess Game has the fire rod. So that means that Ice Palace is now opened up to JJBlu, along with all the Firelock chests that he's been missing for some time now.
So yeah, you forgot to check the left side there.
I think he was trying to dash around, his portal and just clipped it. No Gannis Tower entrance upstairs in Hyrule Castle, so the GT entrance, the locations where it can be, is really starting to dwindle. Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm is over here as well and is about to get his fire rod. And I would guess that JJBlu's heading back to Ice Palace, and ObscureLifeForm will follow in footsteps. Thieves Town entrance was in the Dark Ice Rod Cave area, shopping mall.
Yes. Yeah, I was in over by the Dark Ice World or Dark Ice Rod Cave. It'd be under one of the big rocks.
JJBlu choosing not to go for an icebreaker here is going to go through the traditional way in Ice Palace. Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm now having a fire source can beat Desert. And with Canis Samari and Hookshot, JJBlu choosing not to bother with the bomb jump. little bit faster for getting items. And since you're having to full clear this dungeon anyways, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, especially for Ice Palace. I mean, I'm sure people have their preferences with that bomb jump or not, just depending on how quickly you can get through it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm takes out Land Molus, gets 20 rupees for his troubles, but does get a second crystal.
So far, not a whole lot here in Ice Palace so far. Just some lovely accessories here.
Yeah, just some arrows and bombs, and a little bit of money. Nothing of value. Nothing what JJBlu's looking for here. ObscureLifeForm is choosing not to go to Ice Palace. Instead, heading to the shopping mall, so he'll get to go to Thieves Town, and he'll get to full clear it.
I don't think he knows where Ice Palace is at yet.
I thought he stopped in on his first trip into Palace of Darkness area, because it's in...
Oh, maybe he does, because he's heading over to Thieves Town right now.
Yeah, he doesn't know that this is Thieves Town, but I'm pretty sure that he did see the Ice Palace entrance earlier in this race.
Yeah, actually, yeah, he did see it a little bit earlier. Ape and iced tea.
Good safety item, but this late in the race with 12 hearts and blue mail is probably only going to be a necessity if Spike Cave has something. Chat reminding us that Thief Town Small was in Hookshot Cave, so this Hookshot location is pretty trolly if the big chest in here has something.
Here, Turtle Rock.
I'm not sure that that Turtle Rock key is necessary with the entrance layout at this point.
He just picks up his big key to Eastern, so he can complete that one now.
So at this point, our runners just need an ice rod and a Turtle Rock big.
Yeah, that's correct. Just to finish it.
Yeah, it looks like we have ourselves a Galder and Ice Rod seed.
Wow, that was a very fast cold stare fight.
Fast and in sync as all three of the puffs go down in just about the same time, only getting an arrow for his troubles, but JJBlu ties things up at 2 crystals apiece. And at this point, I'm really starting to think that Gans Tower is in its vanilla location.
That's what I'm starting to think about as well. But of course, though, we're always looking for that silly ice rod. Either you find it early or you find it extremely late. Nothing ever in between.
Yeah. Some runners say they want boots as their first item. I just want ice rod as their first item. I always don't want to worry about ever finding it, looking for that item for an hour.
I can definitely understand that.
In cross keys, I'd probably say I'd still want boots first, just because moving with boots is so much faster than moving without, and the length of a cross key seed is so much longer than regular seed.
A big chest and thieves was just a hard piece, so JJBlu's not missing out a whole lot on that one.
Yeah, no big troll there.
East Town really was not a whole lot of much of anything.
Just the hook shot.
The hook shot, and then, well, the Ganon's Tower, big key if we ever find Ganon's Tower, or if we ever need to.
It also had the Eastern Big, which is needed.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that one. That one we found really early in the dungeon. There goes Lamulus there on JJBlu's side. And at the same time, Obscure Life is facing blind here. So again, once these two are done, tied up 3-3 on the crystals again. So this is definitely a tight race. Basically probably going to come down to who does find the Ice Rod first. But then again, JJBlu, he does need to find his bow, which is in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and Obscure Lifeform will have a 4th crystal here in a few minutes, as Ice Palace is really close by. The crystal he has over JJBlu at this point, Misery Meyer. JJ was in there earlier and decided not to finish the dungeon in the dark. We know that lamp is in Palace of Darkness.
JJBlu making his way back to TR.
Yeah, with the hook shot, there's 2 more items here you can grab. And Fire Rod. Nothing fire locked in Turtle Rock.
That seems like Obscure Life is just kind of starting just to clear dungeon, thinking that he's in go mode now, compared to JJBlu. He's still checking some of the checks he's already checked earlier.
Yeah, having that bow, Obscure Lifeform knows that it's just 1 item and 1 key away from getting things done. So might as well just get these dungeons out of the way and kind of narrow down where your final thing could be, bit by bit, while completing things you have to do to beat the game. Very nice fight against Mothula.
Quake.
Gets Quake, which opens up the Turtle Rock entrance. We haven't had anyone exit out of that entrance, have we?
Out of Turtle Rock, no, not the front entrance.
Yeah, I know we had Meyer entrance as a connector, but Turtle Rock could be where Ganon's Tower's at.
Yeah, that's very true. Because the front of Turtle Rock was found just east of Desert.
Yep.
And it looks like JJBlu went back to Hookshot Cave, finally getting his bow.
Obscure Lifeform is heading over to Ice Palace at this point.
Cats remind us that we do still have the shovel spot left, which I kind of forgot about that spot being open still.
Yeah, Obscure Lifeform has the shovel. JJBlu does not. We know the big pig is hanging out in the well, and the well is hanging out where the big pig hangs out. I wonder if JJBlu is going to head back to Meyer to check those 2 locations. Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm is going to try to pull off Icebreaker here. Misses on his first attempt. Gets it on the second try. And yeah, JJBlu is heading back into Misery Mire.
It's amazing how much faster Ice Palace is now because of the Icebreaker.
Oh yeah, definitely. And needing to full clear it means you don't even have to worry about going and hitting the switch first, because you just want to get the items anyways. And having Hookshot and Canis Maria, and the big key, you don't have to worry about trying to find a big key getting locked out. So really does cut down how long this dungeon takes. So ObscureLifeForm gets their cape.
I mean, that was kind of right there. That Ice Tea was probably about the only real out-of-the-way check now when it comes to Ice Palace. I mean, before Icebreaker, you had to go way out of your way to get that big key chest and everything in between. But now it's literally next to nothing. It's amazing how short some of these dungeons are now becoming.
Yeah, definitely. JJBlu enjoying a cutscene as ObscureLifeForm heads towards Cold Stare.
And with half magic, this fight will be next to nothing. It'll be a very quick match.
The Meyer Firelock chests do not bring joy to JJBlu, just some rupees. JJBlu is going to take on these dark rooms and try and get through to fight Vitreous.
It'll be kind of interesting to see if ObscureLife goes back to Misery Mire to get those chests. I don't think he checked them.
Yeah, he did not have a fire source when he went through Meyer. Does get through Cold Stare, a little sloppier than JJBlu's fight. That is 5 crystals for ObscureLifeForm. And the 6th is a very simple fight away. So, just looking for the Ice Rod and that Turtle Rod Big Key on both sides of the ledger.
Yeah, because we really haven't. Well, we can't even get into Swamp yet because we're missing the small key to get into that.
Yep.
So that's one dungeon we don't have to worry about for right now. It's definitely one small key we don't want to see. We've seen both checks to the castle tower, and ObscureLife now is checking out the shovel spot. So just got a map for trouble.
ObscureLifeForm has that first castle tower key. I don't think he's gone and checked the second chest and egg in tower yet.
Actually, you are correct. Neither one of our guys have. Check out that second one. They both got the mirror early.
Yep. But only ObscureLifeForm has found that castle tower key, and does have the lamp. So that could be something he decides to pick out here Probably not immediately, but it's got to be on the back of his mind. This is the point in these cross key seas where the notes you take really kind of determine how efficiently you can get these last out of the way locations in, like your spike caves, your Aghanim's towers, things like that.
Yeah, and as Obscure Life went to the wrong version of the dam to get to Eastern Palace, and while he did that, JJBlu finished off his 5th crystal here at Meyer. So once again, we're tied up. It's going to be quite interesting to see.
4th crystal. He's only that's his 4th. Yeah, he still
that
has
is his
Soulwood
4th.
not beaten.
It's still a tight race. I mean, whoever
Very,
finds
very
that,
tight race.
It's going to come down to whoever finds that ice rod.
Yeah, those last 2 items that are needed, the ice rod and the big key of Turtle Rock. Both our runners are hoping that they don't find the Swamp Palace small key and that their opponent does.
If I was right, I don't know how I'd feel being almost 2 hours in this race and all of a sudden we find the Swamp Palace small key. I don't know how I'd feel about that. And there's a key to Turtle Rock. There's our last key to Turtle Rock.
JJBlu heading to Eastern Palace as well. It doesn't have the lamp, but shouldn't be that much of a problem. Fire Rod does make this last dark room pretty trivial. Eastern Palace big chest, chat's asking about it. It's just a small key to Turtle Rock. Nothing of note.
Oh, didn't quite get it before he changed red.
Just a rupee for the troubles, but crystal number 6 for ObscureLifeForm. Hopefully remembers that the big bomb doesn't do anything for him.
Yeah, that definitely would open up, might open up something.
We know that's a connector that we've already been to.
Oh, that's right. There's another one we saw really early as well.
ObscureLifeForm now is going to head over to Spike Cave.
Now with half magic, this is real quick check here.
Just a piece of heart, though. Nearing the 2-hour mark, that sort of dread and panic has to be setting in a bit. With what few locations these runners have left. JJBlu has a bit more to explore than ObscureLifeForm, but there's very little that is left on the map for ObscureLifeForm. Fortunately, a couple of locations are right next to each other here with Mimic Cave and Aghanim's Tower.
I was going to go check that second chest now.
Just a piece of heart.
Kind of interesting to see where he goes from here. I kind of wonder if he'll make his way up Death Mountain to go check out the opening of Turtle Rock. He does have the Quake Medallion to check it.
Yeah,
be a good check to make.
I think at this point, all that he has left, he's got this bumper ledge. I don't think we've seen the exit for Bumper Cave as of yet.
JJBlu just finished up Skull Woods, so we are tied back up at 6.
Yeah, now it's just a hunt, as Bumper Cave only takes you to Desert Right, which is not of any value.
And JJBlu making his way up the mountain. Hopefully, going this way, I would think he's probably going to make his way over to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, turn that Quake Medallion into something very quickly.
Oh, we haven't checked the chicken house yet. I thought we did.
We did. JJBlu has. ObscureLifeForm missed this in this first sweep of the Meyer area with the mirror. It's just 5 rupees.
Oh, no. Keep going. No, it's like, don't stop. Keep going.
JJBlu in the tank. Meanwhile, ObscureLifeForm is reintroducing himself to everyone's favorite enemy, the Dead Rock.
Yeah, I want to know what the developers were thinking when they invented these things.
JJBlu is the first to get up to this Quake Medallion entrance to Turtle Rock, and let's see what we get from here. It is nothing.
Wow, that's kind of disappointing. I was kind of hoping that either Turtle or not Turtle, like Gaines Tower might have been there.
Yeah, that was my thought as well.
Because if that was where Gaines Tower could have been, and that's probably could have been a really good shot of where Ice Rod could have been. But if Gaines Tower is vanilla, then Ice Rod can't be there.
Yeah, if Gaines Tower is vanilla at this point, that means that the only way Swamp is going to have anything is if we find that Swamp small in the one location that ObscureLifeForm skipped in Pod.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see what kind of call he makes. JJBlu will actually go to the big key chest, or if he'll go to Harmless Hellway, because those are the two that he left behind. And we haven't found any more pod keys since then.
That's
only
correct.
only those 3. So I mean, if there is something in either one of those 2 chests, which I mean, there's a very good possibility it could be, then that's definitely a game changer in JJBlu's for him.
Yeah, and JJBlu knows that this is a pendant, so he has less incentive to go and beat Helmslore King. I would be inclined to check that big key chest, as it logically requires less keys than the Harmless Hellway.
At this point in the race, too, I think I would probably be willing to do a save scum on this one. Maybe do Harmless Hellway here. See if there's anything I need. Then if not, then go ahead and just take a death. And then go ahead and, or not take a death, well, no, you don't want to do save scum. I mean, that's a hard reset, so never mind. Because you'd have to go out of your way to get back up to here.
Yeah, Eastern Palace is not in Palace of Darkness is not in a particularly easy location to get to with how our connectors line up. JJBlu not doing the hammer yump kind of takes a lot of those options off the table.
And he didn't check Harmless Hellway.
Harmless Hellway is where the Agnes Tower small queue is at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ObscureLifeForm was able to do a hammer yump and save the key here and skip the door to the lobby, but was not able to check the vanilla big key chest. There's that shovel that ObscureLifeForm has not cashed in yet either.
Shovel, yeah, he did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, there is the big key chest in Pod that I'm starting to think might have something. So I'm trying to figure out what other locations have been missed at this point.
It looks like JJBlu's making his way here to it's the big key chest.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see what this is.
Oh, silvers!
Oh, silver arrows for JJBlu. Gonna make that Ganon fight a lot quicker, but is not a required item.
So between the two runners, I mean that makes it a little bit more difficult here.
What is left at this point? There's got to be. There might be a connector that takes us to one of those caves on Mimic Ledge, one of those dark rooms that we saw earlier that neither runners went through. There is the key, or the chest in the bottom of Tower Hera, which ObscureLifeForm is checking right now.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to dungeons, I mean, there's really not a whole lot left. I mean, other than that Swamp Palace key. We've been through pretty much every dungeon. Between both runners, we've seen every part of each. I mean, well, the only thing we haven't done, we haven't seen the upstairs yet to GT.
Just a piece of heart here.
Or wait a minute, we haven't seen anything on GT
We
yet.
haven't seen anything in GT. We don't even know where GT's at.
Like I said, at this point, I think GT's got to be vanilla.
Yeah, Turtle Rock, I think everything has been checked other than the big chest and Trinex. I think it's one of those dark rooms, either the way off of Death Mountain or the way on to Death Mountain, that is going to have a path that leads us to our next location.
We came out of Big Bomb there at the ferry. We came out of that early. It was part of one of our connectors. Yes, we did see Fat Ferry earlier. Okay, now one place if he uses the mirror here, I've realized that there's now an item here, which looks like they've already got that.
Yeah, this is just a shop. Yeah, JJBlu got that a while ago.
That was actually a location that I learned that there could be an item on the other night. When I was doing a race, they were looking for the Eastern Big Key, and that's where it ended up being, because I never knew that there was an item, could be an item on that ledge in the light world.
Yeah, that entrance and the entrance in the maze race on the left-hand side are two of the more tricky ones in Cross Key. It's just because it's easy to forget that you can do those things.
Yeah, we've been here, but we haven't seen what's on the other end of this.
That's correct. And this might be the path. It is the path. We have not checked any of this stuff yet. And here is Sarasala's hut. This is 3 items. There's that Turtle Rock Big Key. There's the Ice Rod. So 2 hours and 9 minutes and 6 seconds. ObscureLifeForm is now in go mode.
So we don't have to worry about GT now. So now we just need to make our way to the Ice Rod Cave, which is where he's going to put himself on Laser Bridge, and then off to face the Big Pig.
And JJBlu is right on his tail as he finds the path here, and we'll get his last 2 items. We have a race. We have a real race here.
That we do. This is going to be good. This is actually probably a little bit closer than what we think it is, too, because of if you look at their clocks, they're not quite synced up completely, so it might be a little bit closer than we think.
And to add to that, JJBlu has silvers. ObscureLifeForm does not.
He does. Oh, JJBlu's not going to go to Laser Bridge to get into Desert, or get into Turtle Rock.
Where's he going? Very clean fight from ObscureLifeForm. Trinex is down. Crystal number 7 is on the way.
Bitter mushroom.
And a mushroom. A little bit of something to munch on as you're fighting Ganon.
I'm thinking he probably mismarked his map where Laser Bridge was.
Did he use up all his keys?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, shouldn't have.
He just needs to make his way over to Ice Palace. Or not Ice Palace, Ice Rod Cave.
No, he has plenty of keys. He just lost his entrance. You know, ObscureLifeForm into the Ganon fight. Tempered Sword. We'll see if he can get the 1-in-1. Doesn't happen. Do 2 cycles on phase 1. Smartly using that kit to get a guaranteed 1 cycle in phase 2. I definitely found Laser Bridge. Laser Bridge had our boots in this seed.
Laser Bridge actually had the sword too. It gave us that tempered sword.
Yes, it did. And Obscure getting the torch glitch, which is 12 spins away now. from ending this race and picking up a victory for the Noble Foxes. Meanwhile, JJBlu is heading to Trinex. If ObscureLifeForm isn't clean in this fight, we've got a race again, but definitely has the advantage.
Down goes Trinex for JJBlu, so now all he's got left is the big pig.
But down goes Ganon for ObscureLifeForm, and one bridge away from picking up a second win for the Noble Foxes. Get those GGs in chat.
Yeah, GG to ObscureLifeForm.
There you have it, with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 13 minutes, and 51 seconds. ObscureLifeForm picks up the victory, moving the Noble Foxes up to 6 points in their group.
And JJBlu taking on the big pig now.
And joining us in the commentary box right now, ObscureLifeForm, congratulations on the victory.
Ah, thank you, GG. I know. Don't think he's going to join with us, but it was a thrilling race. It was very interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to get JJBlu here, as he's taking on Ganon right now. We're not going to get him in the commentary box after he's done. But this seed seemed very linear at the start.
Oh yeah, it was incredibly linear. I mean, it's nice to have cross keys like that, rather than it's just being like, oh, here's the entire world, here's the moon pearl, and now go and enjoy the rest of the world. It's like it kind of lent you towards like the gloves at the beginning, and then it's okay, you go and pick up some rocks, and then it's like, okay, there's laser bridge, go and find your boots, and then it's like, okay, now go to boots locations, and yeah, it's just kind of it was interesting like that.
Yeah, the only thing you found out of order was that bow with the hover in the hookshot cave. Took you a while to the big difference in the early part of this race, and JJBlu did have a bit of an advantage at the start. A long time for you to find that mirror in Agnum's Tower.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it for a little while, and I was trying to think. I mean, and the same with the end as well. It was kind of like I forgot about the dark rooms. Just trying to figure out, and then it's just kind of like, oh, hold on, like I know where Aga is. Maybe I should go and check that because I think I had one location left. Can't remember what it was now, but yeah, I knew that was just when I found the mirror. I was like, okay, that really slowed me down. He might have got that a lot earlier than me.
Yeah, I ended up having it about 20 minutes before you did, but it all ended up coming down to another bottleneck is. Both you and JJ were looking for the Turtle Rock Big Key and the Ice Rod for about 15 minutes or so. And both of you found it at about the same time. The big difference at the end of the race, though, JJBlu did not head directly to the Laser Bridge location to fight Trinex, and you did.
Ooh, a big oof.
Yeah, he was right behind you. There was probably about 15-20 seconds difference between both of you when you got there to Trehalose's closet, but he ended up fluting to 3 and ended up going to the Dark World and going up to Cave 45, thinking that's where Laser Bridge was at, and instead of going over to the Ice Rod Cave. And so thus he went in where the big chest was at, where that was located. So, I mean, that's what ended up being the big difference between the two of you. It was a lot tighter all of a sudden, right as you guys went and got the big key to Turtle Rock and the Ice Rod.
Jeez, I mean, I see he's got silvers as well, so he could have probably sniped me right at the end there.
Yeah, meanwhile, we were talking, JJBlu did finish up the race with an official time of 2 hours, 16 minutes, and 3 seconds. GG's to him as well. But yeah, this was looking to be a very, very close race up until his last few minutes.
Yeah, those silvers was at Pod Big Key Chest. The one of two that you had passed up.
Yeah, with the one location. That's really unfortunate. But yeah, it's not very often you find a cross keys either where you never have to dive into GT. In fact, you never even... Well, I never found it at all.
Neither did JJBlu, or we think at this point that GT was just vanilla.
Yeah, it must have been. I mean, I'll probably check it just out of curiosity after this has finished. I can't imagine anywhere else that it could have been.
Yeah, it's a really, really entertaining race from both of you today, and nice for you nice for your team, No Foxes, to get another win on the table. Your second win and the team's second win overall.
Yeah, it's always nice to get a win, but at the end of the day, it is just a lot of fun doing these races and competing against new people that you might not necessarily see around, from different communities as well, like the German, French communities. Like, yeah, you're just having a great time, really. I mean, we've got 2 wins. We're probably not going to qualify, but you know what? We're going to stick it out to the end and see what we can do and have a bit of fun while we're doing it.
Any thoughts on next week coming up with the co-op spoiler log races?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of spoiler races because I just find you have to be very, very careful as you're going along. But I know me and my teammates, we've put a lot of practice into the spoiler races and the co-ops. So we are looking forward to them.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Spoiler log races are kind of my thing. So I'm very excited to see how your team and all the other teams in the tournament, in the league, fare with a very interesting format that people just don't do normally. So congratulations on the win. It's going to be a lot of fun next week. Any further thoughts or anything else you want to share?
No, just GG to JJ, and thanks for doing the comms and restreams and tracking and putting this all together.
You're welcome, and thank you for the race.
You're welcome.
So there we have it. Noble Foxes, ObscureLifeForm getting the victory here today, and JJBlu close behind, but having a little indecision at the end cost him the race. Bandman, look, I hope you had fun watching this. This was a blast for me.
Oh yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is the second race I've actually had the privilege of calling today. Both of them were really good. This one was just as tight as the first one I saw today. I mean, you really couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, a lot of these a lot of these cross key races have been blowouts where you see one runner get finished and then the next one finishes probably about 15-20 minutes later. So it was really nice just to see a close race. It would have been really nice to see it even closer had JJ went to that Flute 8 instead of Flute 3.
Yeah, and I want to give a big shout out to the runners, ObscureLifeForm and JJBlu. Please give them a follow on Twitch if you can. I also want to give a big shout out to our tracker today, Albato, too. These Key Sanity seeds are a bear to track, and Elbot did a really good job today doing it for us. Any last thoughts, Batman? Anything you want to share with our fans before we take off for the day?
Just make sure that you give a follow, give a like to the runners. Make sure you follow Speed Gaming's 1 through 6. Follow ALTTPR channel, league channels 1 through 4. All the information you're looking for about the league can be found online at ALTTPRleague.com. Has all your standings, your schedules, all your teams, and how this tournament is running. So that's all I got. Thank you for letting me talk with you throughout the match, and hope we get to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a quick correction, it's iBot, not Lbot. I want to apologize to him, and thank him again for the tracking. So once again, for Bandman25, I'm James FNX. I hope you enjoyed this race, and we'll see you again later on the week with a little bit more cross-world Key Sanity in the ALTTPR League. Have a good afternoon, have a good evening, have a good night.